Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Section. This is Section Gaming Channel. Today I have another Blazblue cross tag battle. What to do with character Gothia, and this time it's all about Blake. So y'all know the drill, people. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, check out some of the past content. Make sure to hit the notification bell to get alerted every single time I drop a new vid for y'all. Also make sure to hit the box below to get access to all my social media accounts and so on. But anyways, we're going to get started with this guide, and one thing I would like to say before I really start this guide is Blake is probably one of the more technical characters in this game compared to everybody else. That's my opinion. I haven't played every single character, but Blake, she has a lot of stuff with her that's very, very technical. It's kind of hard to learn. But with that being said, this guide is going to be more on the lengthy side, so I do apologize for that. But anyways, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to go over is her movement. So Blake has some basic movement in this game. So she has a back walk when she walks back. She has a run when she press forward. She has a good back dash. She got a double jump, air dash, back dash. And yeah, she just has the basic movement when it comes to this game. So yeah. So moving on from there, we're going to be talking about her normals. And the first normal we're going to go over is a light normal. So her light normal, this is a light normal, and it has some pretty decent range. I mean, there's definitely better light normals in this game. That's better range. But as you can see, it changed into an auto combo. But the one thing about it is that if you're at max range, it doesn't change until her second ever auto combo. So you gotta be worried about that. And this is her down light. The down light is that little poke and jab, and that's the fastest normal she could do. And that's pretty good as well. The only thing bad about the downlight is that you can block it standing. It's not a low at all. So that's one bad thing about Blade. So moving on from there, with her standing lights is that she has a special property where she could dash out her standing lights just like so. And you can do it at any hit of her standing like lights and stuff like that. So you can do 2 hits of her auto combo, dash out of it. Or you do down light, dash out of it, as you can see, or 3 hits of auto dash out of it. So there is a little recovery out of the dash. But if your opponent's not paying attention, you can't catch him with grabs, stuff like that. Or you can even try to bait out reversals with this. So that's pretty good. So moving on from there, we're gonna be talking about her B norm, well, her B or medium normal. So this is her standing medium, and when you do it twice, it goes into her auto combo. And as you see, this is an auto combo. She takes the little whip, I would like to call it, and twirl it around, and it does an auto combo. And it's a little, there's something different with this move. It has a little mechanic to it. So when you're up close, it does that amount of damage, right? But when you're far away and you hit them with the edge hit of her standing B, it does this. It picks them off the floor, and it does even more damage. So she has different mechanics depending on where she hits with the move. So when you up close, it does this amount of damage, and as you can see, it does not combo when you cancel to a special move. But when you're that far away, hit them with the edge hit, as you can see, and cancel a special move, it hits. So that's really good. So another thing about her B normals, her down B hits low, so that's very good. And as you can see, it has a whole bunch of range on it, so you have a low that hit from like almost like 3/4 of the screen away. And besides it hitting low, besides it hitting low, it does more damage when you do an edge hit or not. So that's pretty good. And you could chain it together with, you could do down, medium into the other medium attacks. Another thing is, when you do basically the edge hit of any of the moves, you could jump cancel it. As you can see, when you up close, you can't jump cancel. As I'm trying, you can't jump cancel when you up close, but when you're far away, you could jump cancel the move when you hit them with the edge hit. So moving on from there, we're gonna be talking about her heavy attacks, which is the universal normals. And this is her basically her standing heavy, and then like all the Ruby characters does like a little hop animation into the overhead attack. And hers is a little bit different though, because like as you can see, Ruby jumps very high up and gets a lot of range on her standing heavy. So it covers a lot of ground. Blake's is kind of really low to the ground, and it doesn't cover a lot the same type of range that Ruby does, but it still covers a good amount of range. But as you can see, yeah. And then moving on from there, her down heavy is her sweep, and her down heavy is pretty okay. It has some decent range. It doesn't have the range as like White's or Ruby's, but it has some pretty good range. As you can see how far it is, even though it looks like that should hit, it doesn't hit. You have to move a little bit closer to hit. So the range her down heavy is pretty good. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So moving on from there, we're gonna be talking about her jumping normals. So her jumping normals, she got her jumping light. And this is an okay move. This is not really good for jumping. This is more good for anti-airs. You could use it as jumping, but you have to press a button when you're coming down to the ground a little bit more. As you can see, if you try to press it as soon as you jump, you will miss. So yeah, like I said, this is more used as an anti-air. It's a very good anti-air. It's pretty quick. It got some decent range on it, as you can see. Even the CPU recorder beat me out on it, but it's pretty good. And you can go into your air auto combo once it hits. So the jumping you want to do is her down light. Her down light has a very good range, and as you can see right there, it crosses up, so that's a good thing. And this is her go-to jumping, and it's going to be a go-to move that you're going to be using in combos. But this is her go-to jumping. Like, it has a good range. It has that good like diagonal range that will hit your opponent as you're jumping in, and so on and so forth. So next thing we're going to talk about is our jumping medium attack. So a jumping medium attack is very good for harassing your opponent. You can just jump up or away, press the button, and it will hit. So one thing about the jumping medium attack is only the edge hit will hit. As you can see, if you try to if the string part of this hit is not going to hit, unlike how it does on the ground. In the air, the string part of this move, if the string part of this move is the only thing that hits the opponent, it's not going to hit. The only thing that hits the opponent is the edge hit of it. So you gotta be wary about that. Moving on from there, we're gonna be talking about her jumping heavy attack. So as you can see, her jumping heavy attack is like a teleport overhead hit, and it's pretty very good. It could catch your opponent off guard. Like, you could be so high up in the air, but it's always gonna hit your opponent. Also, when you're from like almost full screen and you do an air dash, the momentum of your air dash will make you hit your opponent when you do the heavy attack, and that's pretty good. That's very, very good that you could get in really quick like that from almost full screen with that move. So yeah. So another thing about this move, you can do an instant overhead with it. It's not as fast as Ruby's, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. As you can see, Ruby's is really quicker, but you could do it with Blake, and you can special cancel out of it as well. So that's very, very good. So now we're going to be talking about her reversal action. Her reversal action is this move. I think it's called Cat Scratch, and it's okay. It got some decent range in front of her, as you can see, and it got some good vertical range above her head. But when it comes to hitting behind her, it's not the best. The one thing I'll say about this move is when you do it late, when a person is behind you, it will like auto correct and hit them. But if you do it as they passing over your head, it's not really that great of a move to try to use as like an anti-air. Like, Ruby's is better as like hand behind her, and definitely White's is better. So as you can see, you can completely miss right there. But it's okay. It's not. It's probably the worst one out of the Ruby cast, but it's pretty good. So moving on from there, we're going to talk about her grabs real quick. So this is her forward grab, and this is her back grab, and you can combo after each of these grabs as well pretty easily. So that's very good that she has a grab you go combo after. So moving on from there, we're going to be talking about auto combo. So this is her light auto combo, and a light auto combo actually launches the opponent up in the air on the fourth hit of it. As you can see, the fourth, fifth hit, it launches them up in the air. So you can do 3 hits, and then on the 4th hit, it launches them. So keep that in mind. And you can do stuff out of the 5th hit. You don't have to finish it off as well. You do on the 6th hit, when you just press the light for the 6th time, it finishes it off. But if you just press it 4 times, then you can do stuff out of it. So moving on from there, You got your B auto combo, as we talked about earlier. Up close, it does this. Yeah, and when you're further away and you get the edge hit, like right now, it launches them. So that's very good. So now we're gonna be moving on to special moves. So the first special move we're gonna talk about is some gunshots, and this is quarter circle, and you do these by quarter circle forward, light, medium, and the heavy. And the heavy one changes completely into a nightshade attack. So first one we're gonna go over is the light version of the gunshot. So I find myself not using this move as much, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start to find ways to incorporate this move. But this move is pretty okay. It shoots, the light version shoots 2 shots at the person's toes, and this move actually does hit low. So since it hits low, you can use it as a mix-up for like her insta overhead or so on and so forth, or you go into a low jump shot. I said jump shot, gunshot. So that's pretty good, pretty alright. And if it connects, you can easily confirm into a assist combo. So that's very good as well. So yeah, those are her light version of it. And this is her medium version of the gunshots. And the medium version of the gunshot shoots 3 gunshots, and if your opponent blocks it, you're plus on block. So that's very, very good. And the medium version has more range than the light version as well. So that's good as well. So moving on, we're going to talk about her Nightshade. So her Nightshade is very good. It takes a bar meter. The only thing about Nightshade is that you can't combo into Nightshade, but you could definitely combo after Nightshade. So once Nightshade hits the opponent, you can combo after Nightshade. So as you can see, that's very good. But you can't combo into it. Another thing is, if you sweep your opponent and do Nightshade, you can't do a combo. So that's pretty whack. I don't like that, but yeah. So another thing about Nightshade is this is plus on block as well if your opponent blocks it. So that's very good. So moving from there, we're going to be talking about her quarter circle back, light, medium, and heavy attacks. I forgot the name of it, but these are probably like her main special moves you're going to be doing. So the quarter circle light version does this, right? It does like a diagonal up slash at your opponent, and when you it has 3 different follow-ups, and the light version does this. It does like it hits your opponent and then it comes right back. As you can see, that's the light version, and when you're on point with the hit, you can get a combo just like so with the assist. So yeah. Another thing about this version of the move is that you could delay the second light hit for it to cross up. So when you press it normally, it doesn't cross up if the opponent's blocking. As you can see, you press it normally, nothing happens, right? You press in quick succession, nothing happens. But when you delay the hit, it ends up being a cross up, and your opponent has to block the other way. So if they don't block the other way, you get a combo if you call the assist at the right time. So that's very good. So moving on, we're going to talk about the next follow-up, and the next follow-up is the medium attack after the quarter circle light. And the medium attack does like a little axe kick down on your opponent, as you can see. And this move is pretty okay. It's pretty good. This is one of the main combo stuff you're going to be doing, and if you time it correctly, you get a combo. With the assist, like I always keep messing up, like right there, so you get a combo. So that's pretty good. Another thing about this move is if you delay this move as well, as you see, it hits in front of your opponent. But when you delay this move as well, it can cross your opponent up. So as I'm showing right now, if I don't mess up the timing, there you go. So if you delay the move, the follow-up, the medium version of the follow-up as well, you will get the cross up. And I keep messing this up, I don't know why. But yeah, if you delay at the pop and call assist at the right time as it hits, you can definitely get a combo just like so. So that's a very good thing about this move. So yeah, she's pretty big on mix-ups, as you see. And another thing about this move is if basically the axe kick hits, you get a combo, because it's going to count as like a counter attack. If the second hit of the move hits on a counter attack, you can get a combo after that, a combo follow up after that. You have to be really quick on the trigger. I mean, the easiest way to follow up with it is doing a down light until you stand in until you're standing light. But yeah, as you see, and it works on crouching opponents as well. So you can definitely combo if this hits as a counter attack. So keep that in mind. If the B follow-up hits as a counter attack, you can get a combo. So moving on from there, we're going to be talking about the enhanced version of this move. So when you do this move and press the enhanced version, it's going to do a cross-up. Automatically, it's going to do like a cross-up kick in the opponent's back. And this is very, very good. Even though you have options to cross up as well. But with those options, you have to slightly delay the hit. But with these options, you don't. And it's hard to, you could get a combo mid-screen, but it's kind of hard because you got to micro dash up and do it. But in the corner, it's very easy to get the combo. All you got to do is press down. All you got to do is press down medium and get the combo like so. But mid-screen, like, you can easily call out assists at the same time to get a combo. So that's pretty good. But yeah, this move is pretty good. It's very, very, very good to catch your opponent off guard for them blocking and stuff like that. So another thing about this move is that you can actually hit the same side. So if your opponent starts blocking the cross up, you can start hitting on the same side. And the way to do this is all you have to do is just delay the hit. So you do the cross circle back and delay and press this hands version of the move, the heavy version, and you can delay the hit and you get a combo just like so if you call the assist at the right time. So moving on, we're going to be talking about quarter circle back in the medium version of this move. And the medium version of this move, as you can see, the light version does this, when the medium version goes upwards. And there's like a multiple hit and attack on upwards. And this is mainly more used for combos compared to the light version where you can use it on block strings. And again, the medium version has all three of the same follow-ups. And even though it seems like it could be used as an anti-air, it kind of could if your move is active first. But you can't, but it has no like invulnerability or anything like that. So using it as an anti-air for like a grounded state is not that good because you can definitely get hit out of it. So keep that in mind. So now when it comes to the cross-ups, with this version of the move, you can't get the cross-ups like you can with the light version. You know, with the light version, when we just learned that we delay the hit, you can cross up on the other side. With this version, the medium version of this move, you can't cross up at all. The only one that can cross up is the enhanced version. That's the only one that can cross up. But besides that, if you delay hits, it does not cross up at all with the medium version. So be aware about that. But there is going to be another way, some other type of shenanigans that you're going to learn about later on. And another thing is that when you're blocking this move, or if this move is being blocked crouching, some of the moves is just going to go right over the opponent's head. Besides the enhanced version. But the light version is just going to go right over. The light version follow-up is just going to go right over the opponent's head. So moving on, we're going to talk about the enhanced version or the quarter circle back. So enhanced version is quarter circle back heavy. And this move is air invulnerable. So this is the only move she has that is air invulnerable to any type of attack coming out the air. So it costs a bar a meter, so that's the one bad thing about it. But after certain follow-ups after this version hits, you can get combos. So as you just saw, the light version, you can combo from it. You can also combo from the medium version as well. It's just a little bit harder, but as you can see, you combo from the medium version. And you can combo from the heavy version, but you gotta do that run-up follow-up. And another thing about the heavy version is it takes up 2 bars a meter because it's enhanced. So as you can see right now, it's air vulnerable, and if this hits the opponent out the air, you can definitely get a combo with the light version. The light version is the easiest to combo after, so I advise you to just follow up with the light version. And yeah, crossover version heavy is air vulnerable. So another thing about all these moves is that all these moves can be done in the air as well as the ground. So that's very good. You can use some of these versions as mobility options as well. So say you do the medium version and need to get in quick on your opponent, you could do the medium version of air light. And if you want to just try to do cross-up shenanigans or get across the screen, You do the light version, it takes you across the screen, and when you press the light version back, it's going to bring you back to the same side. So that's very good. As you can see, you can do some shenanigans from there with crossing your opponent up. So that's very, very good for mobility options and crossing up your opponent. So moving on from there, we're going to be talking about her shadow, well, not shadow clones, but her clones. She has 3 different types of clones. She has a stone clone, shadow clone, she has a fire clone. And we're going to go over every single function of the clones. So, the stone clone function is to stop momentum of attacks. This doesn't stop like your opponent from running through the stone. Like, it's not like Weiss's ice wall, or where Weiss's ice wall stops moves for you even walking through it. This stops momentum, but some attacks still will carry on their momentum, like so. But yeah, the stone clone was moved for stopping momentum of attacks. And I don't really have the right character to show it off, but as you see, it kind of stopped the momentum of that attack. But if I was using another character who has an advanced forward attack, it would completely stop the character and keep him behind the cone. So yeah. So moving on from there, we're going to talk about the shadow clone. The shadow clone is a little bit different. It's probably the most useless one out of all the clones. But yeah, the shadow clone can be activated by your assist, and as you can see, if the assist or your opponent hits a shadow clone, as you see, it disperses the smoke of the shadow, and you're going to be, and if you're behind the shadow, you're basically going to be very hard to see. You're not going to be that visible to see. And it's supposed to be used for you to do mix-ups and stuff like that, but it's not really that good. So yeah, but as you can see, like I said, when the opponent hits the shadow or an assist hits the shadow disperses, and then when Blake is behind the area of the shadow smoke, she's going to be hard to see behind the shadow, and from there you're supposed to be able to go for mix-ups, stuff like that. So yeah. So moving on from there, now we got the fire clone. This is the enhanced version of the clone. And after a certain amount of time, if it doesn't get interacted with at all, the fire clone will blow up by itself. And if your opponent gets hit by it, then it's going to launch them up in the air. You get a combo just like so. But there's other ways to blow up the clone. If like I said, the assist hits the clone, it's automatically going to blow up the fire clone. And if it's a single hitting assist like this one right here, and it hits, it blows them up, and you get a full combo just like so from there. So that's pretty good. Another way is if your opponent hits the fire clone, it's automatically gonna blow up. So you can use that in OP situations and stuff like that. So one thing about the clones is that automatically when you use the clones, any of the clones, automatically Blake moves back. But if you press forward while doing a clone, you're going to automatically roll forward. So you could change, has some type of mix-up capabilities as well. So you can do this with all the clones. If you press the clone, if you do the clones and don't press nothing, it's automatically roll back. But if you do the clones and press forward, it's automatically going to roll forward. And you could do all other clones in the air as well. So that's another thing you have to know, and you must know about when doing the clones, is that you can do them on the ground and in the air, and you can also hold forward as well to jump over in the air as well. So you get that forward momentum movement in the air when you hold forward. And when you do it regular, she's just going to jump back. So that's pretty good as well. So another thing about the clones is that you could special cancel the clones after your quarter circle back move. So instead of doing the follow-up move, all you gotta do is just do the quarter circle back, any of the light buttons or medium buttons or even heavy buttons, and just do the special command for the clones, and you can do the clones as well. So that's pretty good, and we're gonna learn more and more about stuff, how you could use this setup later on in the video. So moving on from there, we're going to be talking about her assist. So you have your neutral assist, you have your back assist, and then you have your forward assist. And the forward assist is one of our better assists. It's a nightshade, and you should be abusing that assist. But yeah, so these are her assists, and we're going to go over every single one. So the first one we're going to be talking about is her neutral assist. So you do this by just not pressing, you can press down or just the assist button by itself. And neutral assist is used to extend combos or start combos. And her neutral assist is pretty good because it leaves the character straight up in the air, so you don't have to go chasing after the character or anything like that. It doesn't take them to the corner or wall bounces, stuff like that. It just leaves them right there, so it makes it easier for comboing your opponent, just like so. It leaves them right there. You just have to move up a little bit and you go on with your combo, and that's pretty good with the neutral assist. So moving on from there, we have our back assist. Now back assist is kind of like an anti-air, and it pops the opponent up, and this is very good for comboing the opponent, stuff like that as well. You can kind of use it as an anti-air, but it's not as good as Ruby's because she has to come out and then jump when Ruby just comes out and automatically flips her sword out of her sight or like that. But yeah, so if you do it early enough, it will hit your opponent. But if you try to like do it as an anti-air, it's not that good. And then you can also use it as like a launcher as well. So for characters that doesn't really have a launching type of move, you can use it as a launcher. And you have a whole bunch of time to combo after it because they go straight up in the air and then they fall all the way to the ground before the opponent can attack. So you can easily run up and combo just like so. So it's a very good assist for combo sessions as well. And the third assist, and I'll probably show it to me, is our most important assist, and the best one is a Nightshade assist. And this is our enhanced move normally, but as assist, it just does a regular, and you can easily combo after it. After it hits, it's gonna bring in the opponent from the ground. Like she does a move, it reaches full screen, and then just goes and then brings the opponent, and you can easily run up and combo after it. And it's very, very great assist. It's really, really good. You can use it mid combo as well. It get crazy damage, so on and so forth. So it's very good as assist. Also, it's just a winning when you throw this move out. Your opponent just had to block, right? They can't. If they try to attack, they're going to get hit, so they have to block, or they're going to have to jump. And once you make them jump, it forces them in the air, and then you can do some like air blockable, so you can jump up, do some air blockable stuff like that. So it's a very, very good assist, and one of the better ones in the game. So moving on to the game plan section of Blake. So Blake, you want to be around this range right here, so where you can get an edge hit on your standing B attack. So yeah, so when you have when you're not engaging your opponent from up close, you want to be around this range right here, and you can easily get the edge hit and combo from there with a well-timed assist call, so on and so forth. So yeah, another thing about Blake is that you want to harass your opponent from that good distance range with her jump B. Her jump B is very good if you have the correct range for it. So make sure you harass your opponent with it. Make sure to use your movement options with her cross circle back attacks mixing with assists as cross ups. That's very good as well. Another thing to know is that to dash cancel out her lights, because you could bait stuff with that. Another thing you gotta know is that on the forfeit of her auto combo, the one that when it picks you up in the air, you can actually press buttons at that as well. So if your opponent's blocking, you can get them with a jump B or a jump heavy if they're not aware they try to press buttons. Another thing is her jumping heavy is very good. Like I said, you can use it for a instant overhead. If you're high up in the air, it automatically comes on your opponent, and you can automatically special cancel out of it. So that's very good. Another thing with Blake is that you got to use the grab. Her grab is good as well for comboing. It can catch people off guard, so you got to use the grab. So yeah, just harass your opponent with that in that mid-range area with the jumping B, the down B, or medium attack, or standing medium attack. That down medium attack is a low, so take advantage of that. Use her quarter circle back as movement option, stuff like that. Use her sweep if you have to. Her sweep is special cancelable. Use that as a mix-up tool between her instant overhead heavy and so on and so forth. Yeah, Blake is kind of complicated. You have to really put in the time to really learn this character. It took me a little while to get the grasp with Blake, but yeah, the game plan is when you're from far away, use her standing, medium, or down light, stuff like that. Try to get that edge hit to go into combos. use those special moves for cross-ups, as you can see. And if you're in the corner, you could definitely use the enhanced version as a way to get out the corner, so that's very good as well. Another thing, like I said earlier, but we're gonna go over again, make sure to use this quarter circle back version of the air attacks as cross-ups. These is very good, and they will catch your opponent off guard if you pull the assist at the right time. And depending on the assist you use, you land in the right spot to continue on the combo. So that's very good as well. And they're just very good for movement options as well. So yeah, make sure to use that as a movement option, stuff like that, or crossing up your opponent, catch them off guard, stuff like that. Another thing is you could cross up your opponent with the medium version of quarter circle back. In the medium version, if you use the shadow clones and you press forward, you're going to end up hopping over your opponent or hopping back, and you catch them off guard if you pull an assist at the same time, as you can see. So that's a very, very good thing to use as well. And it's probably very good if you use it with the shadow clone. As you see, if you use the shadow clone, it makes you kind of hard to see where you're going as well, because the assist is going to blow it up. So that's the area where you're going to use it at. So now we get to the combo section of the video, so I'm going to let the basic combos play out, let y'all see what you get a good grasp to play combos, and I'll be back towards the end of the section.
Gotta move. Gotta move.
And now that we back to end off the video, we're going to be talking about her actual heat, and this is what her actual heat looks like.
This is goodbye. Astral finish!
And you can combo into her actual heat as well pretty easily, just like so.
So long. Astral finish!
But yeah, folks, that's pretty much the end of the road for this video. Blazblue cross tag battle, what to do with late character guide. And yeah, she's pretty technical. She's probably, as for what I think, she's probably one of the most, if not the most technical character in this game, because a lot of her combos, you have to, at least more damage in combos, you have to be a certain range, stuff like that. And she doesn't do the crazy amount of damage as well, but she has a good mobility option and stuff like that, and she's pretty quick and stuff like that. So yeah, so she's not an easy pickup to learn, so hopefully this guy is able to help you learn a lot more about this character. And if this guy was able to help you a lot more about this character, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel, like always, please subscribe. Make sure you check out some of the past content. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get alerted every single time I drop a new video for y'all. And also make sure to check the box below to get access to all my social media accounts, so on and so forth. But besides that, hope all of you have a nice day. Peace.